Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. as we get to ride home with each other. You can find us on the radio at icradio.media, where we are Fox News affiliates. You can also find us syndicated on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, as well as Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on the newscasters.com. And I love your emails, so continue sending those. You can send an email to Donna at donnasedge.com. That's Donna at donnasedge.com. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I do listen. So I did send a question out just a few weeks ago about traveling destinations. Why would you rather drive within 2 to 4 hour time frame instead of flying and going out any farther than that? And I received some really good answers about that. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a couple of videos I'll show you, very short videos as well. And this will be where we traveled. We decided to go to South Carolina and just over the Georgia line, 3 to 4 hour distance, and we went to Anderson, South Carolina. So we're going to talk about a couple destinations, a park we visited, and then also the Anderson Mall. But before we get to that, let's go ahead with some of the pros and cons and some of your answers. So pros and cons of long distance road trips. I like it better because by the time you go to an airport and you sit and wait a few hours, you could have driven a trip to 2 to 4 hours and then get somewhere where it's friendly. It's, it's local. You're more local. The more local theme is always a lot of fun as well. So the history of road trips, and I'm not going to go through this like long history thing about it, but I thought this was really interesting. So while we usually associate road trips with America, they've not started here at all. In fact, the first ever road trip was carried out in Germany, of all places, in 1888. So it was done by the wife of automobiles inventor Carl Benz, Berta. However, an issue with that fact, a road trip has to be a leisure activity done for the sake of the trip. So Bertha Benz had done nothing of the sort. If anything, her goal was to have a publicity stunt and a test drive. Hardly a road trip by today's standards, not by my standards as well. So how long should a road trip be? Since we are focusing today on long distance trips, it makes sense to see the short ones, or if the short ones are even a thing. So however, we may have to take a bit of a problem. Depending on who you ask, you will get a lot of different opinions. My idea of a long road trip is the most at 4 hours, while some people may say, oh, an hour. That's as far as I would go. So it really all depends on you. So again, we jumped in the car, decided to go first to Georgia, and then we thought, why not go on a little bit farther? It's only a couple of hours down the road. So it wound up being a 3-4 hour trip. But I wanted to show you destinations. Okay, we talk a lot about malls and why we should shop at a mall, and we love the Gadsden Mall. It's absolutely fabulous, and Kaylee is an awesome manager, and she's also associated with the mall located in South Carolina that we're about to talk to. This is Anderson, South Carolina. So I just want to take you just a little area so you can see what I'm talking about. Again, I love malls. And this is the Anderson Mall. One thing I really like about a mall, if it's hot outside, which it did happen to be hot. So if it's hot outside, you can be inside where it's a lot. Believe me, they keep it almost freezing cold, so you may have to carry a coat with you while you're in that mall. They have a lot of anchors like your Belk. And I remember Belk from back in the day. And then also a lot of wonderful anchor stores. That right there, by the way, is an awesome cookie and cake shop. It was absolutely fit. There's even a church in that area. So all kinds of things for you to do. Walk around. I got there really early, Phil and I, really early in the morning, because we wanted to beat the traffic inside the mall. And so you can see all the different things that are associated with this mall. Let me go ahead and click that so I can see exactly how long it is. The food court was awesome. There were a lot of vendors inside the food court, so it's a good place to go. And by the way, there is an entrance at the back for the food court. So if all you want to do is go get food, you can do that, so it's easy. And same thing at the Gadsden Mall. If all you want to do is go for food, you got that going as well. Got a Bed Bath & Beyond. And by the way, with any of the malls that you see here, oh, and I love Tractors, by the way. I like the way they had that situated inside the mall. That was pretty cool. For a farm girl, that's the way it goes. So anyway, just wanted to mention It's always really cool in the summertime, and if it's really really cold outside in the winter, well then you've also got that nice warmth. It's a great place to go exercise. Again, temperature control. Okay. Oh, there are the cookies right there and the cupcakes. That place was absolutely rocking. There it is right there. And they also had smaller shops where if you're looking for natural things like I do. I grow my own herbs and make my own salads. I even make my own salt soap. That's how I am. And but there was a couple of ladies in there who actually made their own soaps, and they had all these awesome things going on. Clothing, if that's what you're looking for as well. But going ahead and go to the Anderson Mall. I think you'll be really glad that you did. So anyway, they're located in Anderson, South Carolina. So go ahead and check them out. Again, it's nice and it's clean and safe. From what I understood a few years ago, the number one reason people did not want to go to malls is they didn't feel safe. Not the story anymore. And at least the two malls that I know of, and that's the Gadsden Mall and the Anderson Mall. I would go to either of those malls at night. I would not be afraid to go. Plenty of police presence there as well. So anyway, let's go ahead and get back. And we're talking about the pros and cons of distance road trips. Okay, so the major reason most people like road trips is because of the adventure. And Phil and I did. Now, what we do to make it a lot easier, I'll drive a couple of hours, he drives a couple of hours, we'll stop. Make sure you got plenty of time where you can stop, and if you want to go to the restroom, you want to get something to drink, something to eat, you're able to do that as well. But there's something just entertaining, about hitting the road. And the longer the trip, the greater the adventure, right? Right? I think so. However, I would argue that there are many important reasons to consider. For instance, let's consider this. The car is an awesome place to have deep conversations. Oh, we did a lot of planning for the business while we were on the trip. Yeah, we were talking. Now, we were listening to my 70s rock now, okay? I know we're on a radio station, but I went on ahead and put it on. And by the way, you can listen to us on an app. I was listening to an app with 70s music. Now, Phil's not into it as much as I am, so I did kind of turn it down just a little bit. So I was rocking a little bit while he was driving. So if you're in an unfamiliar setting, this is another great way to meet people. I met some awesome people in Anderson, North Carolina. We went to the farmers market and just walked around talking to people. Oh, I found all kinds of people who think like I do when it comes to natural foods. So I talked with one lady who was actually over the Republican Party, Women's Party in that area in Anderson, South Carolina. But what struck me is she had all kinds of herbs, and she had um, a setup out there where you could see her different greens that were growing and that kind of thing. And so we got in this long conversation about how we like natural foods and how we think it's really good for you. We ran into folks who were chicken farmers, and they were fun. And so I did tell this lady uh, who had she sold eggs, and she actually sells chickens as well, and they dress those herself. And I said, I have chickens, but I want the eggs. I can't because I make pets out of my chickens. And I can't wring their neck and kill it. I just can't do it. I can't eat it. And she said, well, a lot of people do have chickens just for the eggs. And I said, well, I do. And then I met people who were growing all kinds of things like, and peaches. Oh man, I found some of the best peaches ever. And that was an exciting thing too. So what I'm going to do with the pictures, and I'll have another video about that. I'm going to show you how you can dry it. Don't throw anything away. Okay. And I'm one of those, I don't throw anything away. You can use the peel around it and also the core inside and make all kinds of things. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make some peach butter, which is what you make it. Again, don't throw anything away. And then what's left over from that, then my chicken's going to get it. And then I'm also going to show you how you can make a vinegar out of that as well. So that's going to be on another show. We won't talk about that today. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about, and this is a really good article I found, Corsia.us. It's CORSIA.us. And so some of the cons of long distance road trips. can be not having enough time. It can be not having the time. For example, a regular road trip can last a week or so. Some people think that's fine, but I know a couple of friends who could not stand being on the road that long. That's why I like 2 to 4 hour trips. You've got Rome, Georgia that you can go to. You've got Helen, Georgia, which is just a few hours from here. And that's we've met Brad and Larissa by taking shorter trips like that. We'll get them to meet us halfway because they live in Raleigh, North Carolina. And so it's about a 10-hour trip. So if we can find a place that's pretty much well in the middle, that'll be our Christmas destination. And it's not even at Christmas. We'll either have Christmas before or after, and it could be 2 or 3 months down the road. We have had Christmas as late as May, which is actually his birthday instead. So, I mean, it's up to you. Now, the cost could be an issue some ways. Now, and gasoline, it can be an issue. So I use this really good app. It's called Gas Buddy. And you can go to gasbuddy.com. You can download the app. And what you can see, because you know how it is when you're on a trip and you're not familiar with the area and you're driving down the interstate. We're on 85 most of the way, went through Atlanta. And so you can go to gasbuddy.com and get it to recognize where you're at right this moment. And then you'll get to pull up the distant destinations for gasoline. You'll pull that up and you'll see, oh, it's like not this exit, but the next exit, I'm going to save like 15 cents per gallon. It's worth having. So just kind of plan ahead to those things and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's also talk about, let's go right here, while you're hitting the road. In such cases, and let me tell you this. When you're planning a trip and you wanted to use a rental car, which is what we do a lot, if you'll plan that trip about 2 weeks ahead of time, you'll be able to get your best prices on automobiles to rent, and which is a good thing to do. And so what happens, and also if you'll do it maybe Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, and you can go to Priceline.com to do this, or you can call your destination, or whoever you want to rent your vehicle from as well. But planning ahead can make all the difference in the world. Absolutely. So plan on your gasoline, and if you're renting a car, plan on that at least 2 weeks in advance. Now, I have found that if you try a month in advance, sometimes you don't get the best price. So anyway, 2 weeks. So let's go ahead and cut into a commercial break, and we're going to be right back in just a few minutes, and we're going to talk about other reasons that you want to take a road trip.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors, and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3 p.m. Central, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You know, you can find us on the radio at icradio.media, where we are Fox News affiliates. You can also find us on television and a syndicated Abundant Television found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. I wanted to thank our very awesome sponsors for making all of this happen. And so while we were out on the road trip, I was kind of a roving reporter. So I talked to people at several different places we went to. And when we went to the farmers market, that was a fun time right there. I got to meet real people, gardeners, and people who know how to make it happen. And they're very successful because folks are looking for a better way. But we also went to Wren Park. Now, what about Wren Park? I'm going to show you this really quick video right here. And this is some pictures Phil and I took. Take a look at that. I'm planning on using one of these possibly for a backdrop behind the show because I really do love it. And we had, again, such a good time. Oh, and look at the art. So it's this big open area. I don't know the history of this building, but it looks I would live there. I just absolutely love it. Now, Wren Park is not a huge park. They have a lot of get-togethers there all through the year. And again, this is in Anderson, South Carolina. I love I love yard art. And I'm very into art on a big time basis. But as you go through Anderson, you're going to see a lot of art, outside art. And I love the curvature of that. More art right there. And I'm going to show you in just a minute. Look at that. I just love the arches. I'm going to find a little more information about the history of this building. But I love the architecture of this one right here. I just think it's absolutely amazing. There we go. That's back at the beginning again. So let's go ahead and head back to the big screen. And so I got to be a roving reporter. So this is kind of cool. So I did ask some folks, what do you like about the park, about Wren Park? So this is one. And this was from Mark. And Mark said the park is a great place to meet before going on to another destination in town. You can eat there. There are restaurants all around the downtown area. But the Splash is a great place for small kids. And I saw some kids out there having the time of their lives. So on the back, and I don't think I took a picture of it, but on the very back, you would see Wren Park and water. It was almost like this really nice waterfall. And I think I've got a video. I'll show that to you at another show. So this is what somebody else said. They said this is a really cute town. It has a lot of history. And so this is by Jan, who said, lovely little park in downtown. We enjoyed lunch overlooking it after visiting the local consignment shop. They got a lot of consignment shops out there, nice upscale ones. We also walked around and read a bit about the history of textiles in the area. And then another one, this is from Deb. And Deb said, it's a very nice, peaceful park, great place for relaxing. And she likes to get out there and just read books and enjoy the sun, especially during the beautiful sunshiny days. And just being able to hear the water falling and while the kids are playing, it's just a relaxing place. Stephen says fun times, great atmosphere, and fun for the kids. And he also said that Thursday night music is great. They stopped by a restaurant called Groucho's. We didn't have time to do that. A place called Groucho's for a bite. And he also said, try the coleslaw. It's a different take on an old favorite. And that was from Stephen. And then this is from Diane, who said, Carolina Wren Park, to my mind, is a great gift to the city of Anderson and to the residents. So it's designed beautifully, and it is. And it's nestled on Whitner Street behind Main and McDuffie. She mentions Thursday night as well. So she said Thursday night concerts and Shakespeare in the Park are just some of those activities they have there. And it's a lovely lit wall waterfall. It's beautiful at night, just as beautiful at night as it is in the daytime. Let me check and see what time it is. Oh, I'm going to have to hurry. See, when I talk to you, I just forget what time it is. Okay, there's a lovely lit wall waterfall, and the kids can cool down when the floor fountains are running. So it is a lovely lit wall. Your dogs, they'll let you have your dogs as long as you keep them on a leash. Doggy cleanup stations are there as well. Ample room for lots of people. A great place to have a picnic. Good parking on McDuffie. All in all, a nice place to take the family, take a chair, and read a book. I can see myself doing that. Now, Ken said always something happening at Carolina Wren Park. So during the summer, there are free, that's my language, there are free concerts going on every week. You can find something that suits you. He also says, my grandchildren love to go to the splash pad to play during the summer. I'm hearing that a lot. Also, my most recent visit was in December and last week to watch the ice skating. I didn't know they did that. Everyone seemed to be having a good time. There was Christmas music and refreshments are available. And this is something that was sent from Anne. And Anne said, my grandchildren love to go to the splash park in the summer. Take towels and footwear as the concrete is hot when the sun is all out. So they did suggest you do that. Amber said they have free concerts all summer. They have bands every week there that are different. They got like jazz, blues, rock, etc. And she's enjoyed more than one concert in the square. They have skating in the winter and water and lights shows. And this is from Lindsay. Lindsay said, we went ice skating. They had a wonderful time with their family. Christmas music, they got to go at Christmas, was playing, and refreshments available to purchase, very reasonable prices as well. And so this one comes from Pruitt. So impressed with downtown Anderson, they made this wonderful for walking around the town, and I love Wren Park. I believe they have music here, but he's never caught it. Like, we didn't catch it either. We were just not there at the right time. It was warm and kids playing when they stopped by. And a few other tidbits from folks that I met also at the farmers market. And that was about the cost of living there. They said the cost of living was really, really incredible. And a lot of people are actually moving into that area because the taxes are not so high. And again, that's another reason. I know that Brad, my son and daughter-in-law, live in Raleigh, North Carolina. He just got a huge tax bill, and he's thinking about moving down there as well. So I hope he does. But now you know how they are. They'll think, and it could be 2 or 3 years before they even do it. But the the message that I'm hearing from folks is, and that's taking road trips, long distance road trips, is first of all, it's a little more relaxed. I don't know about you, but there was a time again, and I'm mentioning this again, and this is when we would fly almost everywhere we went. It'd take a lot of business trips. It was easier back in the day. There wasn't all this, crowding everybody up. You had to be in line, and I understand why we have to do that because of the threat of some of the folks that are out there who want to destroy America. But there was none of this, you got to be, like the last time we took a plane trip was when we went to Texas. And it's like I forgot. It was my fault, basically. But anyway, I forgot and brought a big can of hairspray instead of the smaller ones. I just forgot to get it. And it's like it almost tackled me down like I was some kind of a threat to society because I had a big can of hairspray. And of course, I forfeited that. It was like $3 that I paid for it. That went in the trash can. But you don't have to worry about those kinds of things when you take a road trip. I highly encourage you to do it. Just get out there and enjoy yourself. Go with your spouse and just have a good time. And just enjoy the scenery. A lot of times when you go on vacation, you're so busy taking pictures that you don't really see the scenery. That's another thing we did. And of course, me, I had to go find some thrift shops, and I found some good ones, some really good ones, and found some awesome things. And on another show, I'll show you what we're going to do with those things. One man's trash is one man's treasure. And then Phil found some cowboy boots. I'm talking about leather, Tony Lama boots for like almost nothing, and looked like they had never been worn, maybe once or twice. Sometimes I wonder about things that are dropped off into thrift shops. Is it somebody who got mad at their spouse? Or somebody got mad at your boyfriend or girlfriend? What happens here sometimes. Thank you so much for watching. That was our trip, our little road trip, and had a good time, and left Anderson, South Carolina. It was a good place to be. Oh, and by the way, this is something else I heard from so many people when I did my little on-spot interviews about being in South Carolina. They said in this particular area, you do get all 4 seasons. We get 2 seasons. It's winter or it's hot summer. Those are the only 2 we get. But those folks also said they really did enjoy, having 4 seasons. So anyway, go out and visit other parts of the world. You can do that, and you can do it on a budget as well. Find a hotel, by the way, that has at least a microwave and a refrigerator. That way you can actually bring your own food as well, if you don't want to spend a lot of money in restaurants. But we did and had a good time. Thank you again so much for watching. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. Continue sending emails to Donna@donnasedge.com. Thank you for watching.
My Towels solved the problem that we've all had with towels. You go into the stores and they feel lotiony and soft, but then you get them home and they wind dry you. That's why I made My Towels. They actually work, they're soft, and they absorb. And now I'm excited to announce 2 brand new lines of My Towels. What makes them the best towels ever is they're now made with 100% long staple Shapir cotton. This is a combed ring spun cotton that makes My Towels even softer and more absorbent than ever. And now you get a 6-piece set for an amazing introductory sale price as low as $29.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get My Towels for only $29.98. Or you can get my designer premium line for just $20 more. Either way, you save 50% now on all My Towels. They actually work. What a concept. This offer won't last long, so please order now.
MyPillow.com